3, 2, and 1.
All
Hold on,
right, we are.
hold on. Yep. Hold on. I'm sorry. Setting up meeting for. You're on.
All right, we are back here with another episode of Score Trade Live. I'm Jared. That is Jake, and we are so excited because we have another great matchup today. We have the Boston Celtics taking on the Miami Heat tonight, Jake, and this is going to be a good matchup. It has some Eastern Conference implications, and not only that, but it's also going to be a lot of fun here, buying, selling, and trading here on Score Trade while we're watching the game.
No question about it. This is one of those matchups where, coming into the year, you're thinking, all right, these are going to be two of the best teams in the NBA. Well, you look at the standings here, less than a week to go in the regular season, and both these teams, you could argue, have really underachieved this year. The big difference, though, Miami's trending in the right direction. The Celtics just aren't. I mean, Boston, now without Jaylen Brown for the rest of the year, they were just pummeled in the same game these two teams played on Sunday. I remember, watching this matchup unfold, and I mean, the Celtics weren't even competitive against the Heat for most of that game. That was my flight home from Boston, being bored by the Heat and Celtics. So, it's one of those things where if you're the Celtics, you're basically kind of locked into the seed you're in. Miami is still trying to play into that, 6th seed, 5th seed even. There's still a lot that could be decided for them. We'll see kind of if the Celtics show some pride tonight, even without Jaylen Brown, and try and bounce back.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a long road to hoe for this team because I mean, both teams have been inconsistent this year. They both were affected very widely with the COVID virus earlier this season, and Miami Heat finally breaking out of it. They've kind of done everything they can on the defensive side of the ball, waiting for, and then they made a trade there at the deadline. Victor Oladipo is yet to, make his stamp on this team here, being injured with that knee. And then the Celtics, obviously we got Jaylen Brown out for the remainder of the season. And, the Celtics just not where we thought they would be at this point.
They just lack something. And I'm not quite sure, what it is specifically, because it's not like the team is that different from the team we saw a year ago. I mean, obviously, Gordon Hayward's not there, but he wasn't what he was when he was playing for them. But this year, it just hasn't clicked. I don't know, what move you make if you're the Celtics in the offseason, but there's just no way you could run it back with the same group of guys. Something has to be done, and I just don't know how they're going to kind of approach it when it's all said and done.
I hate to say it, but I think it's time to move on from Brad Stevens. When you watch them on the bench, they seem completely uninterested in what Brad has to say. So that's probably where it starts. I don't know where it ends, but it probably starts there with the coach. But if we circle back here to Score Trade, we got tons of props and even more prizes to give away. We actually have an exciting news. Looks like we're going to be giving away, 100,000 Score Trade tokens. A lot of NBA Top Shot. That's all the rage, Jake.
It really is, Jared. I mean, watching the phenomenon that is Top Shot has been fascinating here. I mean, every day people are getting all excited about pack drops, people waiting in line digitally to try and get an NBA pack, Top Shot, pack. And the thing is, this is like the hardest thing on the planet to get. So I don't know how the people at Score Trade even were able to come up with getting a couple packs of NBA Top Shot. So things get out of control here when we start talking prizes.
Well, let's talk to the man, the myth, the legend, the owner, CEO, and everything that goes along with that, Boo, from Score Trade. And maybe he can let us know how he got his hands on some of these very rare items.
Hey, what's going on, Jared? What's going on, Jake? How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Boo.
Good stuff.
Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Yeah, we got these great Top Shots. Today's the first day. I thought, what could we add to this prize drop? We had the Dogecoins, Big Mario. He wanted. We're still trying to figure out how he can get set up with a wallet. That's exciting. We still have another drop of 50,000 tokens for another 100 Dogecoins. Obviously, we got the Air Force Ones, which are hot. A copy of NBA Madden, and a 1-year subscription to ESPN Plus. But this morning I thought, what can we do to make it even hotter? And what's really cool? What do the people want? And I thought Doge is kind of cool, but a lot of times if we're doing the NBA playoffs, why not do the hottest thing in the NBA, which are these Top Shots? And I got some highlights that if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to kick off for you guys. I just bought a bunch of these Top Shots. I literally knew nothing about any Top Shots. I went on the site and I'm going on to these secondary markets. So we don't have a token balance established yet, Jared. So it's going to be like, some of them might be 20,000, some of them might be 50,000, some of them might be 100,000. Some of these things go for like a couple $100,000. But we're buying highlights that we think are cool and fun. We might even time it so that if the Celtics are playing the Heat today, for instance, I might buy Jimmy Butler early today. I might buy a Jason Tatum Top Shot. I might buy those are the types of things I was buying. But I'm going to share with you guys a couple of screens for what these things look like for a moment. Okay, all right.
Absolutely.
Just watch this. Watch this here. So
looking forward to this.
All right. So this right here, I'm sharing with you guys. Able to see it? This Giannis Top Shot, right? Yep. So this is it's a common card, 23,890 out of 35,000 cards, which is cool. But I bought it today, and if you watch it, it's sick. You know, it's just a fun Giannis block. You know, that's the highlight. Right?
That was a lot of fun, except for DeAndre Hunter. I don't think he's the one that had the fun of that.
No, and then we got then we got the Steph Curry one. This one is a really fantastic shot. You watch this. Boom.
Boom.
I bought 3 of these bad boys today.
I like it. Woo! I like that.
Right? And then I got this is a LeBron James one. You got to have a little bit of LeBron. I was just messing around today. This is the best thing about being involved with Scoretrade. I can do this kind of crazy stuff, and my wife isn't going to say like, "Hey, what are you doing? Like buying NBA Top Shots?" Or my kids, I can tell them, "Hey, be quiet, I'm working." Look at that.
Yeah.
Woo! I was on.
Wow, what a block!
And then I thought, no mental health day is going to be fine without a Kyrie Irving mix here. So I dropped this thing here, which is fantastic. Kyrie's got such sweet handles on this play. Watch this.
Oh, wow.
The other beauty of it is we own this highlight because I own the NBA Top Shot as anybody else does. So I'm assuming that we get the right to share it on this video here. But that's what these Top Shots are. Exciting stuff. So, hopefully, hopefully people get excited about it and share these things and buy these things. Do you get to see the video? Do you get to hear the sound as well? Does that play?
Yeah.
Is that too loud?
No, not loud at all. I mean, I thought it was great. And I think anybody that is into the NFTs, which is sweeping the country, that is exactly why you need to play this game. So you can get some of that sweet Top Shots. I mean, and there'll be plenty more to come. So come on here and try to earn those tokens and to get your hands on those Top Shots.
Yeah, that's a new thing, right? It seems like every day there's a new thing that is going for crazy expensive on the Top Shot market. So the fact that we got 4 or 5 of some of the biggest players in the NBA right there, that's why you got to be part of Scoretrade.
See, Jake, when I was a kid, it was the slap bracelets. Now it's NFTs. I mean, look how far we've come.
It's the future, Jared. I mean, it's crazy what's happening there. And it's funny, the NFTs are so popular and so are trading cards once again. So just forget, the digital stuff. I mean, I've never seen so many people interested in baseball cards and people calling my radio show to talk about cards. And I'm like, look, I love sports, but I couldn't tell you anything about baseball cards. I haven't collected those things in at least a decade already, but they're making a comeback.
Yeah, then this is the new age. Now people want digital files, and that's what we're going to bring to you here on Scoretrade. Now, guys, make sure before tip-off here that you get some of your props in here. Jason Tatum is set at 46 to go over 7. And to be honest with you, Jake, with no Jaylen Brown, maybe they try to focus right here with Jason Tatum and try to get the scoring done. But he'll have to go up against Jimmy Butler, which plays pretty good defense. Yeah,
there's no question that the Celtics are obviously going to need someone to shoulder some of that scoring load. Tatum, to me, is tricky for Scoretrade, though, because he is such a streaky player that I can very easily see him going under the 7+ points. And if you look at the algorithm here, that's why the shares kind of are reflective of that. 54 cents not to score 7+ points. So I'm probably not going to play Tatum at all here in the opening quarter. If I'm going to play a Celtic that, maybe has some potential value here. I look at a guy like Kemba Walker potentially getting some shots here. I think at 47 cents a share, 5+ points from Kemba. I mean, that's a 3, a 2, and some foul shots, and he's easily over the 5. So if I'm playing a Celtic to go over, I'm probably going to go Kemba here over Tatum because the streakiness kind of concerns me. I feel like Kemba will be more assertive early on here. They're coming off a terrible loss. He's the veteran leader on that team. I would think he would come out and play hard. And then from a Heat perspective, Jared, it's tricky. The Heat have so many guys. So I don't know how you just focus in on one guy. Obviously, Butler is their de facto go-to. But a lot of times Jimmy Butler doesn't score that much. So he's kind of tricky. I might have to wait it out as far as Heat players go, maybe monitor the timeouts and the substitution patterns and see if there's an angle I like that I feel good about. Maybe someone going under or over their total based on time of game and score.
Well, when I look at the Heat players, the one that sticks out to me the most is Duncan Robinson. This guy, he's going to get plenty of 3-point opportunities, and all he has to do is hit 1 to go over his total. So to go 3 here, the shares are set at 60. So probably what I would do is I would wait as soon as this game starts. I don't think he'll get the first couple shots. Let that price drop a little bit, and then go ahead and take the discounted price and go over the total of 3 for Duncan Robinson, because almost every shot he makes or attempts is a 3-point shot. And then I also like Bam Adebayo, because I'm not really sure how the Celtics are going to match up versus Bam. They traded off Daniel Tice at the trade deadline. Robert Williams III's been in and out of the lineup. So who's going to match up with Bam Adebayo in this matchup?
It's a fair point. Yeah, I mean, the thing that you just don't know with the Celtics is what's the effort level going to be like tonight? I mean, have they completely checked out on this year? You look at the standings here, and they're kind of locked in to where they're at. I mean, they're either going to be the 7th or the 8th, and they'll play a win-or-go-home game, and if they lose that, they're going to play the 9 or 10. Like, they're in a bad spot. I mean, the scenario without Brown of the Celtics actually being in the playing game and then losing in the playing game is very real. So which Celtics team shows up at home after, quite frankly, talking to Celtics fans the other day, they embarrassed themselves on Sunday with that performance. That was awful.
And they've done that a couple of times this year. They've embarrassed themselves versus the Knicks earlier this season. I mean, like I said, they've been so inconsistent. They would lose to Oklahoma City, but then they'll turn around and beat, one of the better teams in the league. So it doesn't make sense. Their effort level and their consistency level has been all over the place. And, you can't blame the COVID virus for their current play. You can blame that earlier in the season. But, this version is kind of a weird version of the Celtics team. Like you mentioned, they have a lot of the same pieces from last year. They were pretty good last year. So, something's not right there behind the scenes, and we're seeing it unfold here on the court.
You just wonder, do they break up the core? Are they trading a Brown or a Tatum? I mean, can they even trade Kemba with his contract being what it is? That's a tough deal to try and move. I don't know if, you say, oh, well, they're not listening to Stevens. You got to get rid of the coach. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, are the players not buying into the coaching and it's on the players, or is it more the coach? Like Tom Thibodeau didn't become, less of a coach when he went to the T-Wolves, and now he's a better coach when he came to the Knicks. Like, there has to be a buy-in from the players. And I just wonder if there is enough of a buy-in from the Celtics players, because I don't think, Brad Stevens forgot X and O's and had a coach. I just don't know if his message is clearly getting through the Celtics team like it had in previous years.
Well, and also imagine the amount of pressure that they have to go through it, being in a big market like Boston, where they expect you to win. They expect you to put a winning product on the court at all times. And especially at the beginning of the year, when they were going through a lot of the COVID protocol situations, they fell so far behind that maybe they just said, you know what, this is just not our year. They'll move on from here. So, I think there'll be a lot of things moving and shaking there in the offseason for Boston. And for Miami, it's a similar situation, but like you mentioned at the top of this broadcast, they're going in a completely opposite direction. They're trending positively. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that they play really good defense. They're one of the top teams in the league in defense. And they are starting to get some of their scoring capabilities with Goran Dragic and also obviously Duncan Robinson. Those are dynamic players, and especially when Tyler Hero is healthy, he should be able to make this team even more dynamic.
No doubt. I mean, You look at the Eastern Conference and you tell me if you agree. I see three teams that are the clear favorites to get to the conference finals and the finals, and that'd be Brooklyn, Philly, and Milwaukee. If there is a fourth team, you almost don't want to discredit the Heat because it was a year ago, not even, when they went all the way to the finals. Now, do they go to the finals if they're not in the bubble where there's no home court? Like, they would have been the road team in every game throughout the playoffs last year. How would that have changed things? We'll never know. But I just think the Heat are so well coached with Spoelstra. The guys know their role. When they need to make a play, you have the guy in Jimmy Butler that could win you a game. We saw it last year. So the Heat are kind of peaking at the right time. They're on that 3-game win streak. They're going to try and finish the year strong here, make sure they avoid the play-in tournament. And, they're a team where, depending on the matchup, I wouldn't rule it out on them going on a run. If I had to find a fourth team in the East that I think could make some noise, I would lean with Miami.
Yep, and now this game is underway, so we're going to see how this game plays out. We're going to see if Miami can shut the door on the Celtics here and try to lock up a more favorable position here in the playoffs. So right now, currently, it's 2-0 Miami with 90 seconds already played. So looks like Miami's already starting to come off with some pretty good defense, being able to hold the Celtics to no points in the first minute and a half.
Going to be some scoring that happens here, though. There always is. The Heat are going to get Bam Adebayo involved, and he puts them on the board. So, I'm early on here against Tatum, and then I have some shares, as I mentioned, on Kemba. So I'm relying on Kemba Walker to be assertive here and score me some points early in this game.
Yeah, that's a good look. Now, with Jason Tatum, so if you remember, it was you and I were on this broadcast about a week ago. It was the Celtics versus Bulls. And there was 80 points scored in the first quarter, if you remember, and Jason Tatum had 2, but he ended up scoring 30 points in that game. So, like you said, Tatum is very streaky. So, if you want Jason Tatum, just wait for him to wait for that price to drop. Maybe you'll be able to get him at a much better discounted price. Right now, he's sitting at 38 cents.
Yeah, what do they say in the stock market? Buy the dip. I mean, we're going to buy the dip here on Scoretrade for sure.
Yeah, right now with 2 minutes into the game, the score is 5-2 Boston. Bam Adebayo has the only 2 points for the Miami Heat.
Watch for Duncan Robinson as well, too, because he's already taken a shot. I feel like he could get going here. I just bought a share of little Duncan Robinson, seeing if he
was that a 3-point attempt?
It was a 3-point attempt, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so Duncan Robinson, that's pretty much all he takes is 3-point shots. So all he has to do is hit one of them, and he averages, I want to say, almost 3-pointers a game. So that should be almost a guaranteed lock for him to hit one at least in this game. Hopefully he'll hit one in the beginning of this first quarter.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Jared. It's just going to be fascinating to kind of see who the Heat go-to guy is, because we talked about it at the top of the show. Game to game, there's not a definitive guy. When you have 4 or 5 guys that could score, guys that could come off the bench. I mean, how many points did Tyler Hero score in a playoff game last year?
It was insane. I can't remember the exact number, but it wasn't Michael Jordan-esque, but it was up there.
And we're talking about a guy that's coming off the bench for the Heat, so you just don't know.
Yeah, and that's another guy. You kind of wonder if he'll take the next step. Would he be able to start on most other teams? Be a consistent starter. What do you think about Tyler Hero being a consistent starter going forward?
Yeah, I think he is. I think on the right team, he probably would start by now for sure. You're just talking about a team that has so much depth, and you don't want to mix. Maybe Spoelstra feels like he doesn't want to mess with the lineup when you have 5 capable starters that all know their roles. So I definitely think he's a starter. Jared, I don't know if you saw this here, but Kemba Walker, bad news. Kemba Walker suffered an apparent injury 2 minutes into the first quarter, and he's headed back to the locker room with an apparent left shoulder issue. So I would recommend selling all your Kemba Walker shares from a Scoretrade perspective, but obviously I hope Kemba's okay. I mean, a nightmare season just gets worse for the Celtics if Kemba, has a serious injury.
Well, you might as well wrap it up then at that point, right? If Kemba Walker is not going to play for the rest of the year, what you're going to have Evan Fournier running point from here on out, or maybe Marcus Smart. And actually from a Scoretrade perspective, maybe now the the smart money here, smart move is to put Marcus Smart on the over because right now all you need is 3 points. Oh, he's already made it. He's already gone over his total.
I was about to play it, and then I'm like, it's not there. Yeah, I was thinking the same exact thing as you, right? Go Marcus Smart. All you need him to do is hit 1-3, and well, he's going to take shots.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so no Kemba, so that should free up a little bit of room for Evan Fournier to get a couple shots here in this game. Let's see here, and obviously Jason Tatum, he should be a value as well. Also, there will be some value there in taking the under, obviously, in Kemba Walker now.
Yeah, there's definitely value there, right? I mean, are we finagling the system if we put all our money on Walker to not score 5+ points, right? I mean, just wait and wait. Well, I guess statistically, it doesn't really matter when you place it because the stock is just going to go. So that's what I'm going to do.
Well, you obviously want to get in on it early because the value will go up and up and up, so you'll lose value with the stock share going up in value. You're buying high. I will say this though: if Kemba Walker is out for the rest of the quarter, and that makes me win this first game here, I'm gonna have to send him a little thank you note for getting hurt in the first quarter.
Yeah, seriously, and you made a good point. I was like, wait, no, the numbers are going to change. So buy the dip in Kemba Walker now, because then it's only going to go up because we know he's not coming back.
Yeah, he'll never. The number will never get smaller than it is now, wherever it's at right now.
Right. So that's where I'm at right now. I have all my shares there in will Kemba Walker come back and play? I'm banking on no if they're having him come to the locker room already.
Yeah, and for those of you guys that listened, we got Evan Fournier knocked down a 3-pointer. So, of course, no Kemba Walker that's going to be able to spread the ball around a little more. Evan Fournier knocks down a 3-pointer. His share price is now 89 cents.
Wow. So there you go. It's starting to happen here. You got to be on the Scoretrade app. Quick reflexes. I got my thumbs up, and I'm ready. My phone charged, ready to make some plays here.
Yep. So let's recap the top of the leaderboard here. JP 9 in first place with 900. Way to go. Mac P 22584 in second. Myself is in third. Boo's in fourth. Jake is in fifth. Josh is in sixth, and JMC 19 is rounding out the top 7. Keep it going, guys, and let's continue making these trades here and see who can get in first place, because we have the NBA Top Shot. I mean, those are so. Not only do we have Dogecoin up for grabs here, but we also have NBA Top Shot. Both these things are tradable on the marketplace, so you'll be able to get them for free just by playing this game. And you possibly could turn that around and make quite a bit of money off those particular NFTs and cryptocurrencies.
That's the key, right? I mean, that's why we play the game here at Scoretrade, for the tokens and the prizes and all the fun. And if you caught Boo at the very beginning, there is, there is certainly, a lot that is riding on the NBA Top Shot that's on the line tonight, and of course over the next couple of days here at Scoretrade.
Absolutely. All right, the score is 10-8. Looks like Miami is on a little run here. 8 minutes left in the game. It's funny, Jake. I'm here at this sports book that they're not playing the game on TV.
That is a sports book malpractice, Jared. I mean, you should write a strongly worded letter and do something about it.
Next time, I think I'm gonna have to go to the Buffalo Wild Wings, my man, because in this sports book, have you ever been in a sports book? There's only 4 TVs. It's a travesty.
I mean, it's funny. I get frustrated when I'm at sports bars, Jared, and they don't have the games on. I can't even imagine my level of frustration if I'm at a sports book trying to play Scoretrade, watch the Celtics and the Heat here, and I can't even get the game on the screens.
Yeah. So right now what we got is Pittsburgh Pirates versus the Cincinnati Reds. We got the Cubs versus the Indians. We got the Nuggets versus the Hornets. And we got the Timberwolves versus the Pistons. I don't know what's going on.
Have the nationally televised game on? I mean, this is the TNT game.
It's funny. Yeah, look, it looks like Jason Tatum scores all the way down to 26. He is yet to score a point here. in this opening quarter for the Celtics. Maybe he's just waiting to get hurt too. Maybe this was just the big old plan here. Hey, Jalen, this season sucks. You go ahead and go out with the injury last game. Kemba, you go out this quarter, and I'll be right behind you guys with the next injury.
I mean, that's the thing, right? You just gotta play the percentages here. Tatum's streaky. I saw him kind of get out to a cold start, and that's the way to get some value here as you see the trend kind of start to dip.
Do you have his stats up in front of you? What's he shooting from the field? Well, obviously he's shooting 0% from the field. How many has he missed?
Yeah, I could pull that up for you. Jason Tatum is 0 of 1 so far, so he hasn't even taken out field goals.
So he's not even getting basically he's not even getting attempts here. So maybe he's being more of a distributor now that Kemba's out of the game. And Kemba's under is now up to 76. I currently own 800 shares of that, Jake.
800. I love it. I'm just going to keep buying more and more. It's never going to get higher.
yeah, for sure. Tyler Hero, he has 0 points. He needs to get to 4. That's not a pretty decent value there. And of course, Duncan Robinson, he already knocked down that 3-pointer that we predicted at the beginning of this broadcast. So I hope you guys cashed in on Duncan Robinson over 3 points.
Jared, I'm selfishly rooting for the Heat to win this game because if the Heat win the Knicks game tonight, it doesn't mean as much. The Knicks would have officially clinched a top 6 seed, which means no playing game. And enjoy the playing game, Boston.
So do you think that they would rest their players tonight if they didn't have if the Heat win here tonight?
The Knicks wouldn't because they're still trying to lock down the 4 seed, and the 4 seed obviously means home court advantage at the Garden. So they're still going to play out the string here. But obviously, LeBron's not playing tonight, so that helps the Knicks. But now it's like you don't have to necessarily worry about winning the game if Miami takes care of business and you lock up, a top 6 seed. And as a Knicks fan, I mean, I just wanted them to be, what the Wizards are doing this year, right? Like a couple games under 500. Maybe you get in the play-in game. I mean, the Knicks are going to, definitely be a playoff team. And here they are in a position where they might host a first-round series. It really is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's been a dream season here for the Knicks. I have enjoyed watching every bit of them succeed, especially on defense, and then knocking down the 3-point shot. It's been incredible, man. And that's really been the difference. At one point, they were the worst offensive team in the league, and they have clawed themselves up, I believe, to the 25th ranked offense. But they actually are playing much better than that because they dug themselves in such a hole at the beginning of the season.
Right.
But being able to do what they do on defense has been remarkable. And then even to do it without their big man too, and Mitchell Robinson out for the year, that was a big blow. And it seemed like, hey, we'll just next man up. We got Nerlens Noel coming up here, and then you have Taj Gibson and Pelly behind him. So I like the grit of the New York Knicks.
It's not something we've been able to say too much over the last 20 years. So I'm with you, and what was amazing about that win against the Clippers on Sunday, they did it without Alec Burks and Emmanuel Quickley, 2 of their best guards. Quickley's one of the best rookies in the NBA this year. So they're well coached, man. And tonight, it's not going to be as fun when you don't have LeBron and you don't have that excitement that Knicks Lakers could get with him playing in the game. But for the Knicks, if they beat the Lakers tonight and cap off this road trip that was supposed to be a road trip from hell, if they end up going, I guess it would be 4-2 on this 6-game West Coast road trip. I mean, if you would have told me that the Knicks would have a 4-2 road trip out west against the teams they played this late in the year, I never would have believed you. So for that to be the Knicks.
I love it, man. I love it. And, speaking of LeBron James, do you think they'll just go ahead and sit him until the playoffs, or do you think they'll try to bring him back here for maybe a 1 or 2 game warm-up? Because it looks like they're not going to get in the top 6, in my opinion. I think they'd have to win out to get in the top 6 right now in the West. So it looks like they're going to be in the playing game, potentially versus the Golden State Warriors.
From what I understand, they're going to try and get LeBron back for their game against the Rockets tomorrow. They're just giving him another game off tonight. I mean, I guess he could play if he really had to, but my understanding is that he'll be back in back in action tomorrow. And speaking of someone that's back, we might be in trouble with our Kemba Walker not returning.
Oh,
He's
no.
back. Kemba Walker's back in the game here, and he just hit a 9-foot floating jump shot. And now and he got fouled on the play, went to the free throw line, and just hit the free throw. So, wow. All right. Kemba Walker now is at the 3 points. So, Jared, we're going to be sweating this out here with 5 minutes to go in the
I was trying to figure out, Jake, why my shares had went way down. I'm like, oh no, what happened? And now it makes sense. Kemba Walker coming back in like Sting did from the Raptors back in the WCW days, just coming out of nowhere and spoiling everybody's dreams. Here, I had already had these top shots in my wallet, and now Kemba Walker rips them out.
Dude, I might have to, like, what's the move here? Do I sell? But I think at this point I'm like so all in invested here. I might just have to ride it out.
The move here, in my opinion, right now, because they just put the game on the screen. Jason Tatum is up to the line right now.
Yep.
The move is to take Tatum's points at such a low price. You should be able to get a pretty good price there, because he'll probably hit both these foul shots.
Right,
so
that makes sense.
If you can buy it before he makes the foul shot, then you should be good. I'm going to go ahead and sell Kemba Walker myself and take the loss and buy up some Jason Tatum at 18 points, 18 cents, as he misses the second foul shot. So what do I know?
I got the first one before it moved up. Then he missed it. I mean, I still feel like the Kemba Walker might not take too many more shots here. There's still a chance. You just never know with like the fluidity of an NBA game, like how many looks he's going to get here.
Right. Now there's only 4 minutes and 25 seconds left in the game. Pretty low scoring affair right now. Boston 17 to Miami 16. Jason Tatum with the ball, driving to the basket and shooting a fadeaway and knocks it down. Let's go. I had just bought 2,500 shares of Jason Tatum, and that jumps up to 30 cents.
Tatum, man. And now, I mean, there's Walker. I'm just eyeing Walker. He's at 3 points still right now. I mean, obviously, we need him. He needs to be at 5+. So we could get one more field goal. We can't have another 3 from Walker, basically, if you're still on the Kemba Walker basket.
So to let you know what I just did here is I bought 2,500 shares of Jason Tatum, Jake. I watched him hit that fadeaway jump shot. It went up to 30 cents on my app. I sold everything. Now I have no play on anybody, and I'm waiting for Jason Tatum to get the ball back in his hands, and then I'm going to press buy again and hope that he makes a basket, and then I can cash out again real quick.
That's the key right there. I mean, you're a veteran, Jared. I mean, this is why they pay you the big bucks. I mean, you're 3 moves ahead of where I'm thinking right now. I'm just trying to hold on for dear life with Tatum.
Where are you at on the leaderboard right now? You're in fifth place. Okay.
But I could skyrocket up if the Tatum prop hits because I have most of my shares in there. I didn't sell.
Oh, so you bought him really low.
Bought him very low, yeah.
Okay.
Now
yeah, so what I did, as soon as he hit that shot, I cashed out, and I was able to now keep the dollars, and now they're not fluctuating. Now I'm watching the game right now. Like I told you, they just put it up here on the screen, and as soon as they give Tatum the ball, which he's posting up, I'm going to buy some more. Tatum has the ball. I'm buying it. Going to the basket, just passed it off, so he wasn't able to get the shot. But now I'm invested at 23 cents. I have 2,500 shares.
You have it all on the line right now.
Yeah, I need this top shot, man. I need to retire, and possibly one of these top shots will make that happen for me.
No doubt. I mean, I'm just looking here. I mean, how were we not all over Jimmy Butler more? I mean, he comes out and he's so aggressive in this game, Jared. He comes out here, he has 11 points in the first quarter.
Jason Tatum just scored again. Let's go.
It's over. There it is. That's the dagger.
That's 5. He needs 2 more, but I went ahead and just sold. So now I'm in first place.
Oh, I thought it was a 3-pointer. It was only a 2?
It was a 2. Well, the review, yeah, it was just a 2, I believe. Regardless, now I'm sitting in first place with 1,100 because I'm just buying and selling whenever I see him have the ball.
That's the key.
I'm pretty fired up about this, man.
You're in a good spot. You really are.
I need this top shots, guys. I don't know if you knew this about me, Jake, but I'm a professional Scoretrade player. So this is what I do for a living is play Scoretrade.
You're tremendous at what you do. There's no doubt about that.
And that should do. I think he just scored his 7th point. I could be behind. Or maybe that was somebody else that made the shot. Regardless, yeah, this has been a pretty good game. It's 24-23 Miami in a close affair here. Now, if you look at the rest of the league, you got Kemba Walker, like we said, back in. His price is 70 to the under. Tyler Hero, 0 points in the first quarter. Kendrick Nunn with 2 points in the first quarter. Dragic with 0 points in the fourth quarter. Now, the players that have cashed already, Jimmy Butler, Evan Fournier, Bam Adebayo, Duncan Robinson, and Marcus Smart.
Yeah, looking ahead, I mean, anyone that's got 0 points at the end of one, like I'm playing Tyler Hero in the second quarter. Like he's gonna get
For
going.
sure. He'll get a lot of minutes in the second quarter as well, in my opinion.
I mean, he's the type of guy, like when you look at a bench player, you got to account for the role. Like if they're not going to get their flow in the flow of the game early when they check into the first quarter, I'll play him in the second quarter every time. Like I forget what the contest was that we played either last night or maybe last week, where there was a guy that barely played in the first quarter, but then they erupted off the bench in the second quarter, and that's kind of usually how it goes with the flow of the game.
Right. Yeah. I don't disagree with you at all. Tatum is starting to get hot. I think he might play, but they'll probably sit him. They might actually pull him out. They're TV timeout right now, so they might actually pull him out here for the last part of the first quarter. So it might be advantageous once you see them pull Jason Tatum out of the game for rest to bet his under here, to take the under, because he's not going to come back in the rest of the first quarter.
Definitely. They'll use that quarter to give them some rest and the commercial break in between the quarters. Just as an FYI, Jared, I see here on our link, we got less than a minute. So if we get cut off here, I want you to know that in Jason Tatum to not go over 7+ points, we trust.
That's exactly what I am banking on here. I'm already loading up right now, getting ready to buy about 2,000 shares of Tatum to not get his point total. And yeah, I see we have about 1 minute left in the broadcast. And Jake, overall, the great show, man. I'm excited about Scoretrade and all the stuff they got going on here with all the prizes. I'm really excited about the NBA playoffs coming up here. It should be very fun. I can't wait to experience and watch all this with you.
Should be a ton of fun, my friend. Enjoy the rest of your time in the sports book. I'm glad they got the game on for you, and it should be a fun night at Scoretrade.
All right, Jake. Well, yeah, before we get cut off, I just want to say thanks to everybody that is playing Scoretrade, and good luck at Scoretrade, where you can play for free, win for real. For my friend Jake, I'm Jared. Have a good night.